ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. There are three festivals in the Torah called Shalosh Regalim. These are pilgrimage festivities. Our ancestors were supposed to go to Jerusalem to celebrate there those joyous occasions. Which are those three festivals? The first one is Pesach, called in the Torah Chag HaMatzot. When is that celebrated? On the 15th day of the month of Nisan, because that is the date when our ancestors were freed from Egypt. They left Egypt. The second one that I want to mention is Sukkot. Sukkot commemorates the fact that our ancestors lived in huts to protect themselves in the desert, or maybe it is a reference to the clouds of glory that accompanied them to protect them while they were in the desert. When do we celebrate Sukkot? On the 15th day of Tishrei, immediately after Yom Kippur. Then there's the third one, which is really the second one, but I say it in that order because I want to speak about it, called Shavuot. When is Shavuot celebrated? Well, the Bible doesn't give a date. The Bible says the following. After the Shabbat of Pesach, of Chag HaMatzot, you should count Sheva Shabbatot. You should count 7 additional weeks, and on the 50th day is Shavuot. So Shavuot does not have a date by itself. It is tied to the date when you celebrate Pesach. Why is this so? Who knows? Actually, it provoked a tremendous argument between the Tzedukim and the Perushim at the time of the Talmud. When do you have to celebrate Shavuot? Because according to the Tzedukim, Mimochorat Shabbat, the day after Shabbat, means the first Shabbat after the festival of Passover starts. So that's a Sunday, and Shavuot was always celebrated 7 weeks afterwards on a Sunday as well. But according to Perushim, and we are the heirs of the Perushim, Mimochorat Shabbat means the day after the first day of Pesach. So depending on when the first day of Pesach is, that's when you celebrate 7 weeks later, Shavuot. Indeed, even the word Shavuot means weeks, or maybe it means Shavuah, an oath, because our ancestors took an oath on Mount Sinai that they were going to live by according to what the Torah told them to do. So why is the Torah so non-specific when it comes to Shavuot? Maybe the Torah is trying to tell us that Shavuot, which is the anniversary of having received the Torah, is not something that we can commemorate one day a year. This is something that we have to do every day. When we say Shema Israel, we are actually assuming upon us the yoke, the obligation that is implied by belief in one God only, to observe all the mitzvot that He gave us. Every day of the year should be. Just like Mother's Day is once a year, but we all know that Mother's Day should be every day of the year. You have to thank God if you have a mother who is alive, including the Exodus of Egypt. The Torah says you have to remember this every day of your life, and we say it morning and night. We remember the Exodus from Egypt. There's also another thing about Shavuot. In the Talmud, it receives a different name. It is not called Shavuot, it is called Atzeret. Which other festival is called Atzeret? I think we all remember Shemini Atzeret, the last day of Sukkot. In Israel, it is celebrated one day. Outside of Israel, we commemorate 2 days. The first one is Shemini Atzeret, the second is Simchat Torah. What does the word Atzeret mean? Atzeret means closure. It's the end of the holiday. Since Shavuot is only one day in Israel, it's the closure of what? Well, apparently, since it is tied to Pesach, it is the closure of Pesach. Maybe the message is the following, that freedom by itself can lead to chaos. Freedom needs a certain set of rules, certain morals by which we have to live by. And that is exactly what Shavuot gives to Pesach. On Pesach, we gained our freedom. But Shavuot tells us that freedom has to be exercised within a certain framework of morality and ethics according to the instructions that we received by God. We human beings are free. We can do whatever we want. We can read a book or we cannot read a book. We can go to a lecture or not go. How do you utilize your time? Are you free to do whatever you want and you don't do anything? Or you guide yourself by a certain set of morals, by the teachings of your ancestors, by the teachings that you receive from the Torah? Make sure that every minute of your life is really used up for something that is constructive, that your liberty is within the framework of the Torah.